Hello and welcome to Crimeseen.com. This is Justin Tucker, the project manager and lead developer. And in this video we're going to go through adding a one for the road location. And you might be asking, what is one for the road? Basically, one for the road is when a privately owned camera on private property is pointed to view a public area. And let's just kind of talk about the applications of that and what that means. A lot of times out there when crimes happen, even though it happens at a particular location and a certain business owner may be victimized, just because they don't have a security camera or some surveillance system does not mean that other businesses around them don't. In fact, it's most likely that they do, and even what's also likely is that those cameras probably indirectly pick up a public area in the background that wasn't exactly what the other business owner intended to be viewing in the first place. So for a classic example, let's go to one for the road camera, and if you click on the one for the road link at the top, it'll give you a map of blue dots, and there is one here called Edmunds Security Incorporated, and they're kind of local here to where I live. And you'll see that it shows you the Google map of where this camera is located, and basically this user has told Crime Scene and the Crime Scene community here that, hey, I've got a camera that is situated at approximately 400 South Broadway north and southbound traffic on Broadway and the Whataburger parking lot. So, and then here's pictures of what the camera views. So clearly you can see that the idea of this camera was so that he could film the parking lot of his business, but indirectly we also pick up the north and southbound lanes of a busy street there in Edmond and the parking lot and area of a Whataburger establishment that is directly across the street. And so what one for the road is basically letting law enforcement and the crime scene community and everybody else out there know that, hey, if there's any crime or there's anything that happened in this area, guess what? I have a camera here that may be of some help. And that's really what one for the road is. Whether it's an indirect viewing, meaning the purpose here is to view the parking lot, however indirectly we get to see the background area of two streets in the parking lot of a Whataburger. That's indirect, or whether it's a direct, meaning that you solely dedicate a camera to view a public area. Okay, it doesn't matter. This is what one for the road program is. And when you add a location, and it's much like adding a client location in that you give it the street address, the state, the zip code, but the further details you add is what the camera looks at, and if you can, be so kind to add a couple pictures of what that area sees. And as this network grows, okay, it's a private security network essentially, so it's not Big Brother because this is owned by citizens. It's not owned by government, but it is a nice map of a network of privately owned cameras that have view of public areas that law enforcement and other people may not have been aware about, and that could potentially help him solve a crime or resolve a report. So to add a one for the road camera, this is presumably you would have a camera that you already have in place or one that you are going to have in place. Clearly this option isn't for everyone because not everyone has video surveillance, but if you do and you're in this position, you can click add one for the road, and just like your client location, there is no limitation on this, but basically the fields are the camera location name, whatever you want to call it, and then give a very descriptive view of what your camera looks at, what it sees. Is it a northbound lane, a southbound lane? Does it have nighttime capabilities? Anything that can be helpful to someone in the future who might need to get information. And then there's three fields here for you to browse your system and find still pictures that you've captured, and you can go ahead and upload them here, and it will become a part of this location. And then once again, here is the area where you can add the location information, the street, the city, the state, and the zip code. Again, make sure you use the entire word of the state, not abbreviations. And on this, you can optionally give a phone number and fax number. Again, if you're going to participate in the One for the Road location, you're basically letting the community, law enforcement, and everyone out there know, I'm willing to be contacted if I can be of help in the future because my camera may have captured something. And the good thing about it is, if you don't leave your phone number or any information in this description here to be contacted directly, only registered users can contact you through our site, and your email is protected, meaning it gives you total prerogative on whether you want to respond to any inquiry or not. And down here, after you fill in your location, again, the latitude and longitude will automatically be calculated unless you know this specifically, and you basically click Save. Since I don't actually have a camera for this location, I'll just go through the steps here and show you what you would do. And then once you click Save, okay, it'll actually add it to this list of View and Edit My Locations. So if I were to click Save, you'd actually now have a new entry below this one here, and it would say Type One for the Road. So you can specify and know that that type was for a camera I had, this type is for a location for me to receive email notifications. So that's One for the Road program. It's a very exciting program. You can always look at the network as it is at any given time by going to the top link here, One for the Road, and it will produce a Google map with blue dots that are indications that there is an owner at that area or a user at that area that basically has a camera that looks at some public area in some way or form, and could potentially be helpful for, again, law enforcement or other users of the site to help resolve reports. So as always, if you have any questions, always you can use this contact link here and contact us, and we'll be happy to address those. And thank you for listening. That concludes the One for the Road tutorial.